Hello, everyone. Doing a little stream here, testing out the manual entry play entry for Digital Diamond, not not Digital Diamond, piece um, Payoff Pitch PC baseball, which is my method, my preferred method of play. I like to have the cards and dice here on the table in front of me and just enter in the results, not the dice rolls, but the results. So a lot of the testing so far and a lot of the work has been done on the dice rolls and on the playing the game as a PC game. Um, but Dana, the developer, said this is something he's going to put some work in. He says he hasn't put any work into it in a while, and he's about to get back to it. So since it's my preferred method to play, I thought I would try to stream some of it. Probably won't be the most exciting TV because I've got the cards out here, and I'm going to put the screen up. You'll see the screen. I'll share my screen. As a fact, let's go ahead and do that before I forget to do it. So let me share my screen, and I'll put the screen up. So you're going to see that. Like I said, it's not going to be the most exciting. I'm actually using season ticket baseball, and I'm going to enter in the results as I play. And I got started doing that already. I did 3 innings before church this morning, and I want to get back to this. So you can see the new save and close and save feature, which is something that's new that people have been asking for. I used that, and it's a little off on my screen here. So let me see if I can fix that. I know I got a hotkey O. Let's see what's going on here. All right, here's my project screen. Here's the games, but everything is kind of off. And I think it's because I turned on full screen when I left it. Okay. I had that on full screen, I believe, last time I was playing, so maybe that kind of messed with things. It looks like it was trying to go back to windowed, which is how I had been playing it. I was just testing something last time. So let me go back into options here, and yeah, full screen. And you can see that the way I'm playing this is I have manual dice rolling. I'm sorry, I have enter play results manually, which is different than manual dice rolling. And I told Dana about this in one of our chats. I didn't think, since I was doing manual play results, I didn't think any of these settings mattered. But I had this button check, manual dice rolling, roll all dice and facts, and the that screen would pop up where if you didn't have this button checked, that from time to time this screen was popping up, like you were doing manual dice rolling as well. So I'm trying. Hopefully, this will help me test and see if this fixes it. Just to set this to manual dice rolling. If you're going to check this button right here, and I'm sure Dana, who generally watches these streams, he'll probably, and I told him about it in our testing chat, and he's going to look into it. But here are my options for this. I'm going to enter the play results manually, so like a board game companion mode. I would imagine this stuff doesn't matter, since just to keep it from running into issues, I'm going to make sure and set these to manual, base stealing and manual sack bunt. Um, Really, none of this really should matter, I don't think, since I'm doing manual play results entry. Visual, I don't know. Let's see, the scoreboard, play-by-play descriptions. I think this does matters because I think the splash screen, I think he calls it, it's still a big part of this experience for now, at least. And Dana is going to do a lot of work. He said he's going to start getting back to this manual play entry. So this is going to be kind of a before and after look. This is what it looks at like currently, and I think he's about to. I know he's about to resume some work on this part that I'm about to show you. But those are kind of my settings. Autoplay won't matter for this. Here are my hotkeys. He did so my keypad enter button is what I'm using to create plays. You can use that now. It did cause a problem with if I use for dice rolling. I generally use R for dice rolls, but I had changed it to enter. Well, that caused a little bit of problems. So I told Dana about that, and he's looking into that. So I've set that back to R. Um, but again, I'm not, a lot of these won't be in use with the mode that I am about to show you. And AI managers, Shane Orr on Baseball Maelstrom did a really good video showing off the AI managers. And I've done some playing and testing with that as well, but the purpose of this one is to show the manual entry again, not manual dice rolls, but manual play entry. And I started I did a project, the 1975 postseason, and I need to ask Dana about this because this series only went 3 games, I believe, and if I'm not mistaken, Dana said he had fixed it to where if it's a historical replay and it goes more than 3 games, in real life it only went 3 games, but in your replay it's going more than 3 games, and you need to add a game to the schedule or take games away from the schedule. That I thought he said he fixed that. Maybe he just said he's putting it on the list of things to look into. Um, but I think he's going to do something with that. I don't think we're going to be stuck with just nope, you only get 3 games, even if your replay is going more than 3 games. Sorry, I don't think that's going to be the case. But maybe that's the intention. I don't know. We'll get more into that later. I want to get to this game that I started. You can see it's in the top of the fourth. I used the close and save or save and close feature, and I'm going to click resume here, and it's gonna bring me back into the game. So here we are, top of the fourth inning, and you can see this is still part of the experience. Um, so it's and we'll see how Dana changes things up, but it's important to, as you're playing this mode, the way I got into my flow this morning is what I was thinking was I would just click here and then I would put in the result. But you kind of need to look at this screen first to make sure. Like I said, I've got season ticket baseball that I'm playing this game out with. And I just need to make sure before I go to that next screen that the matchup is correct. So Don Gullett versus Ronnie Stinnett, and that is correct. And you can see Gullett so far today, 3 innings pitched, no hits, 3 strikeouts. Stinnett is 0-1. And it still has all the box score and all the play results here. This trends is a new thing. It doesn't look like that it's here for this manual entry mode. And I guess it's not. I know that Shane in Baseball Maelstrom in his most recent review of 6.1 talked a lot about trends. So I think it mainly has to do with how the dice are rolling. So it would make sense, since this is manual entry, that this wouldn't be in manual entry mode. But here's the box score so far. I'm a pitching guy. You can see Gullett. We're not going to talk about what's happening right there. But here is the box score so far, if you're interested in seeing that. And you do still get your play results. So that's kind of cool that you get that. I haven't even really looked at this stuff yet for this particular project that's going on. So let me get back to the gameplay. So now that I've verified that my matchup is correct, Gullett versus Stinnett, I can click my screen here, roll it out. And again, this is not going to be very exciting to watch because I'm rolling the game out on here. I should probably maybe try to put my camera so you can see the cards, but I want people to see this experience. So I'm using season ticket baseball, and let's see, it's going to be 132, which goes to 332, and that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. So out and ground out to the shortstop. So I've recommended keyboard, and Dana has told me he wants to get keyboard entry for this as well. But you can see there is the ground out recorded for me. I've got one out over here, and we've moved to Sangielen. And we got a 2-3-6, and that is going to be a single. So you just enter it here, hit, single, and he completed the play. And Al Oliver, 458. And again, like I said, since you're not actually seeing the cards and dice, you're just watching me enter things. It's probably not going to be the most exciting stuff in the world, but we'll do a couple of innings. So 458 is going to be a double to right field. And I'm going to keep it pretty basic here because it's been a while since I played season pitch. I think with that open double, I could try to advance, but I'm just going to play pretty basic here. So it's a hit. It's a double, and then it asks you what to do with the runner. So I'm just going to advance 2 bases, and there we go. So the Pirates are threatening here, and I'm going to bring the infield in, although it doesn't really matter because I'm doing manual entry mode here. But maybe for the play-by-play to show that I did that. Stargell. And we got a 5.70, which would be a rare 570. It's going to be the left fielder. So it's going to be George Foster is my left fielder. I have no idea what all Dana and Joe are wanting to do. One recommendation I have in my notes is to be able to make these customizable, these ratings up here for what the arms and things are in case you're using a different game or something like that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but at least I can see that I need to find George Foster's card to get because he's playing left field. So it shows me that a 570 is a fly out to left field, and the runner on third must challenge. So if I can remember my payoff pitch, and who do we have on third here? So that's Sanguillen. He must challenge George Foster's arm, which is a 5. And I might not be playing a season ticket right, but I think I have to beat the that arm plus 10. So Foster's arm in left field is a 5. So that's 15. And Sanguillen's speed. I'm sorry. I might have to look at my little cheat sheet here. How to challenge an arm. Should probably do this with a game I know really well, but yeah, you use the speed plus the red, white, and blue has to beat the arm plus 10. So Sanguillen's speed is a 2. So, and the arm is a 5. So I got to get to 15. So 2 plus 6, 8, 9, 10, and I wrote a 0, which I am pretty sure is always a 10 in season ticket baseball. I got a quick little note here in the instructions. Yeah, always a 10 in season ticket baseball. So he beats the throw. So essentially it's a fly out to left field. Sanguillen tags up and beats the throw. So I've never put in one of those. So let's see what happens. So it's going to be an out to the left fielder, and the runner on third scores. Fly out to the left fielder, runner on third scores, runner on second stays. So there we have it. Nice and easy. And I got to end that play. So that brings up Richie Zisk, and the Pirates take the first lead. And I roll a 209, which is going to move to the hitter's card, a 409, which is going to be a walk. And one of the suggestions that's on my list for Dana is that this hit, it doesn't show that I'm streaming here, so hopefully this is actually recording and going live. But this hit is a walk is under hits, which is a little bit, to me, a little while to find it earlier. So I'm going to complete that play. All right, let me look here and make sure I am actually streaming this. I believe that I am. So we'll go back to the game. I think there's a, yeah, it shows, and it shows there's even 3 people watching. So there we go. All right, so now we are, in case you joined late, I'm just testing the manual play entry mode using a different game in season in Payoff Pitch PC. So Dana, the developer, says, it has been a while since he's put any work into this mode, so he's about to start that up. So I'm doing some testing on that. So it's not going to be the most exciting TV probably, but we wrote a 290. Plus, I'm a little out of practice with season ticket baseball, which is another great game that I really like, but I'm a little out of practice with that. So, so bear with me. 290 is against the lefty is going to be a deep drive to right field. So I take that power. Dave Parker has a 9 and a deep drive to 290 against the lefty as a deep drive to right field. So I've got my Riverfront Stadium. I had his power of 9 to the white and blue. We got a 9, 19, 24. I have a feeling that one's out of here. That is out of here. And there's a way in season ticket baseball to figure out the distance when it's off the chart like this, because it's not quite off the chart, but I think this would have been a long home run, and I'm not going to take the time to figure that up right now. But I like that about season ticket baseball. So this is a home run by Dave Parker. So it's a hit, home run, and I'm assuming it's going to show all 3 scores. I don't have to. It knows to score the runners here, so it does. So you can see the score goes to 4-0. So Dave Parker got a hold of that one and puts the Pirates up 4-0. So and we got a 378, and that is going to be a fly out to left field. We've got to end that previous play. Let me try something. I think there is an option to quick play. Turn that off. Let's see if that works in manual entry mode as well. And we said Hebner. I think I already rolled for that. 378 is a fly out to left field. Yeah. So you can use your keyboard there on that screen, but then when you come to this screen, you can't use keyboard entry. That I don't think so. So, and I know it's on Dana's list to work on that. So there's the 3 outs in the play, and we're going to be moving to Jerry Roos versus Tony Perez. Good. So this matches. So here's the different plays here, which I've got that turned off. The AI manager is probably not needed for manual entry mode. I don't know if Dana wants to remove that when you're in manual entry mode from this screen. Also, another suggestion, Dana, is I've got it turned on so that the stats on the load screen when I'm doing the lineup are for the replay stats, but then the lineup in game is showing their season stats. I think most people would like to be able to see the replay stats here, or maybe even both. I don't know. That would be my preference because I can always hover over the card and see what their season stats were. But I would like to see what's happening in my replay right here, if that's a possibility, and if you think people would want that. All right, Tony Perez versus Roos. And we got a 549. And again, the reason I like these board game companion modes is I can look up here and see who my second baseman is, because on the 5 roll in season ticket baseball, you have to. I wrote a 5-4, so I'm gonna look at the second baseman, which is Rennie Stinnett. And again, I'm putting it on my list to ask if we can customize these ratings in case other games are being used. I don't know if that's a high priority for a company to do that or not, but I'm going to ask it. And you guys can put in the comments if you would like that or not, because I do think Dana watches these. So let me see Stinnett and see his. He's the second baseman, and that would be a 4.63. So it's just going to be a ground out to short sense. I mean to second. So G4. And I still got to press that in the play, even though, let me just make sure I've turned that off. Auto advance between plays. So this is not working, Dana, between plays. Let me put that in my notes. And what is that option called? Again, not the most exciting TV. It's more for testing purposes. Um, Game flow auto advance does not work. So let me put that in my notes to make sure I tell Dana that. I still got to press the E. Or I'm not going to say I still got to press the E because other people still have to press in play. All right, thanks, guys. Taking some notes while testing here. So now we got George Foster. Today he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So this was recently added. I really like this, where their stat line. I think it's been here for the hitter for a while, but new in one of the might be new to 6.1, the one I'm testing now. Maybe the previous one had it, but the pitcher stat line for the day is here as well. So that's pretty cool. 511. So that's going to be on the hitter's card, and that's going to be it would be a double play, but with bases empty, it's just going to be a ground out to the pitcher. So out, ground out to the pitcher. And Dave Concepcion, 1 for 1 today. 692. So that's on the ballpark card. And that is going to be a triple for Concepcion. So payoff pitch. Hit triple. I think that's the first triple I've got in this. Ken Griffey. Bringing up Ken Giffrey. Ken Griffey over 0 for 0 with a walk today. 2 outs, so no need to bring the field in or anything. So 610, another roll on the ballpark card. 610 is a strikeout for Griffey. So I can hit enter here, and then I've got to hit. I'm wondering, Dana, if it would just be good to have some common thing, maybe do more on this screen so you don't have to go to another screen. I don't know. Fewer clicks, the better, in my opinion. So that was Griffey. He struck out, and that ends the half inning. So we're going to the fifth. And Gullett versus Taveras, who's 0 for 1 today. If you just tuned in the last inning, Dave Parker hit a 3-run homer to blast it open. A booming shot. 133 is going to be a 333. One of the cool things about season ticket baseball is the pass-through effect, pass-through mechanic. So 333 is going to be a pop out to the shortstop. Going to do a few innings here just so we can see what all comes up for testing purposes, and I'll play the rest offline. So we get the pitcher. And I'll also use that to reacclimate myself to season ticket. 687. 687 is a single plus, so everybody would advance 2 bases, but it's just Stinnett 262 against a righty is going to be a 5-3. Grounder to third. That brings up Sanguillen. Sanguillen gets a 394 and that is going to be a single plus. So that's going to score Jerry Roos, the pitcher. So it's going to be a hit, a single, and then when that happens, it asks you what to do about the runner. So this is really nice. I'm going to say the runner on second scores, which is what happened, and complete the play. Which brings up Al Oliver, who is 1 for 2 with a double today, it looks like. And I like my auto steal to determine if I want to try to steal with Sanguillen. And I normally roll it above. Nope, he doesn't get the steal sign. Dropped a blue die here. We got a 371, and that is going to be will be a 3-6 double play, but we're just going to call it with 2 outs. It's just going to be a ground out to first. So they tack on another. Do the Pirates. This is pretty cool. I've wanted to play some 70s Pirates. I don't know that I've ever played any 70s Pirates. I used to go to some Stratomatic tournaments down in Alabama, and there was a guy there. I don't know if you watched this or not, but he would always play Rodney. You would always play if you happen to ever watch this. More of a strat guy, so I don't doubt you will, but always play with these 70s Pirates and would give me fits. So I played against them a lot, but I've never played with them, and that's pretty cool. I love the 70s Reds and the Great Eight. I was born in '77, so a little before my time, but I love teams that have nicknames, and the Great Eight Reds. That's kind of cool. I love that nickname for the the Great Eight teams with nicknames. I love teams with nicknames. Okay, there we go. I'm pulling up the. Oh, hey Dana. I see that I'm terrible at looking at the chat, so um, hope you've seen some of my suggestions, and I know you will watch these. You say you watch these from time to time, so I'm also taking some good notes. Just going to do a few more innings here because it's probably kind of hard to watch, and if you're like me, I like to watch my videos on like double speed or triple speed. Um, but yeah, some good stuff here. 3-1-2 is going to be a strikeout. Out. Strikeout for Geronimo. And it brings up should be the pitcher's card. Pitcher is Don Gullett. It shows Will McHaney here. I want to roll it out because I think there's just a random name attached to this. Put that in my notes. I'm not the greatest TV to watch me type notes into my phone, but I want to make sure Dana sees this. So let me take a picture of this. And I know he's watching, but oh wait, he doesn't have to worry about writing it down or anything. All right, take a picture so I can add that to my notes. And there's a bit of a delay with the chat, so I can't really ask in real time. But okay, so no one's on, so don't have to worry about the bunt or anything. So 168. Man, the pitchers are bringing it today. That's a single. It looks like the auto manager still did something here, Data. Hope you saw that or see this. Let me figure out what happened so I can put that in my notes. So the auto manager runner caught still in second, still attempt. Looks like the auto manager. Oh, I see what happened. They brought in a pinch hitter, and brought in a pinch hitter. The auto manager brought in a pinch hitter, Will McCaney, and I wrote on a pitcher's card, got a walk. The steal was attempted by the auto manager, um, which I think would be kind of interesting that he would attempt a steal down 5 runs. But with 2 outs, maybe get him in scoring position. I could see that. And then he got thrown out. So just so that Dana can see the options here, I thought I turned on manual steals and manual sack bunts. You know what I probably need to do is turn that button off so that there we go. So I need to turn off the AI manager when doing manual entry mode. Or do we want that? That could be a really cool feature. I don't know, but I hope Dana does see this. But I'm going to turn it off for now and add to my notes that the auto manager was still going. Maybe default turn it off. Yeah, I think in manual entry mode you wouldn't want that happening because you're kind of playing both teams. Okay, add that to my notes here, and we will just pretend. So they had pinch hit with McGaney. Um, so I'll have to remember, and that'll let us test something too. Because a lot of games in manual entry mode, you can really, if you're using it as a board game companion, like I'm kind of doing right now, it will let you move forward without putting. Now, it's really good when you're actually playing the game. Payoff Pitch PC is doing an excellent job of not letting you move forward if your lineup's out of sync or something like that. But let's see if that works the same way in manual entry mode. And I have a suspicion it will because it's pretty good here, and it seems to be tied to this screen, so that probably keeps things in order. So Pete Rose is still up here against Jerry Roos. Um, just so that I don't get off, let me get McAney, I think is how the guy's name was pronounced, who the auto manager brought in. I don't have that card. I thought I had all the cards for season ticket baseball. I might not have printed off that one. And this is also a sample set. Yeah, here he is. He's a relief pitcher. So the auto manager chose to pinch hit the starting pitcher for a relief pitcher, which seems like an interesting choice there. Regardless, Gullett is out. Which does make sense that he would pinch hit in that situation, I guess, being down. I don't know if they did that in the 70s. And again, I haven't really messed with the AI. I told you that Baseball Maelstrom's done a lot with that. So I've done a little bit with it, but not extensive. All right, back to the game here. Pete Rose against Jerry Roos. And we got a 54, 542. And one of the things, I love about the board game companion, it's 542. I can just look up here and see who's playing second base. Stennett. And let's check out that 542, which if I know season ticket baseball, that should be an out. And it is. It would have been a double play if the situation was right for it. So Rose grounds out to Stennett. Out. And it's going to be a G4. All right. So it automatically puts McAney in here, which I'm going to go with. I need to get his pitching card out. Oh, yeah, here it is. All right. So McAney for this season, you can see 5-2, 70 games, 5-2, 2.47 ERA. This is, I have to kind of some interesting. I'm just thinking here live on air. It's not my strong suit. Um, but it could be pretty cool to have an AI manager that you're playing against, even for manual entry mode. You would just have to you just have to really watch over here when the AI manager makes a change or something. You would have to go and change your cards up and all of that. But that could be pretty fun to do because you could still have to control both teams. You can still only control one team. I don't know, Dana, if you want to noodle on that or if it's worth your time or not. All right, Stargell versus McAney, and Stargell 0 for 2 with an RBI and a strikeout today. 374 is going to be a strikeout. So out and strikeout. I think probably the original intention for this mode was you score on hand and then you come here and you put everything in, which could work. But I like a board game companion mode like this. So I think I'm going to stop the call because my wife or stop the video stream there because my wife is calling me and I need to pick that up. But there is a look of some of the testing. I'm going to continue testing offline and get myself reacclimated to season ticket, maybe do a few more of these. Dana says he joined late. He will get back to watching the beginning. Good suggestion so far. In beta 1, the AI manager changes will be announced, so you will clearly see them. So that's really cool. That could be really a cool feature if if you can play this mode against an AI manager and still still use the cards and dice. And as an AI manager makes a change, then you have to go adjust your cards accordingly. But that would be really cool. I actually thought PC Replay Baseball did that. Um, it does it. It doesn't do it well. It does like a few things. Um, just from what I saw here, this seemed to be doing that pretty well. I just wasn't paying attention to my little window there um, to know to make those changes, and I think I really like that. I think that's a pretty cool feature that people will like if you can get that right. So anyway, ending the stream here. I'm gonna play some more offline. Take this call from my wife. I hope you guys have a good Sunday. Bye.